Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Samantha and I am the Luxe Wife, and welcome back to another amazing home video. Well, as you see by the title today, we are doing what's in my bag, a home edition. Now I enjoy doing these videos because anytime I am getting ready to do a project, I like to be able to talk these things through and walk these things through with you guys, and you get to give your input in real time because they have not been purchased yet. I also enjoy doing these videos because you get to have ideas of what you can do to your space. Now, if it's anything I know about today's climate, it looks like a lot of days we're going to be home. So with that being said, we might as well take care of the space and enjoy the space together and collectively, okay? So if you are new here, welcome. We talk all things home here, and you do not have to spend thousands to get a desired look. If you want to, by all means, that is completely up to you, but you do not have to spend thousands to get a desired look. We have all things today from Amazon Home, Nordstrom Home, as well as some pieces from Target, and I'm super excited to show those things with you. But guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into today's video. Now this year you guys have seen me redo, and I'm not gonna say redo, but kind of upgrade some pieces in our bedroom. So starting off strong, we recently, earlier this year in the spring, we got a new bed, and it was just a clear upgrade from what we had prior to, with the tufted and the crystal inset headboard. Although I think nothing was wrong with it, we just wanted a more mature and neutral look, and the bed we went with the wing back and cream color, it just looks so gorgeous. Now with that being said, we need new nightstands because our nightstands, they just need a little bit of love and upgrade. Now yes, we might either decide to either donate them or pass them down to our daughter in the future, but I don't know. At this point, we have accumulated so much furniture in our storage, and it's a blessing, so I'm not sure. So starting off strong with nightstands, I am in love with the darker wood tones when it comes to nightstands, but I also don't want to stray away from the more neutral and lighter colors because I feel like you can do more with those. Now nightstands could be that option where you play it safe, or you can go out and you can go bold, but I think the most important thing is to find what fits the space. And I love these nightstands. They are so gorgeous. I've only seen them on Target. Unfortunately, that's the only place I've seen them. Now a lot of things I want to give you as a rule of thumb when it comes to purchasing nightstands is take a look at the size. You don't want tiny nightstands unless you live somewhere where your space is smaller, like those bigger cities like New York, and you have to gravitate towards something smaller. But if you have a nice size room, any room that's at least 12 by 12, 13 by 13, get you a nice size nightstand, something over 29 inches in height, 29 inches wide. That is going to look and make sure the space is filled. Okay, now if the room is bigger, go bigger. We've had 40-inch wide nightstands before and it looked incredible with the space, but obviously this time around that isn't an option, so there's that. But I think I love these nightstands. They come in two different colors or two different wood tone textures, and I can't decide whether I like the lighter or the darker, but I think the darker pulls more masculine and obviously lighter is a lot more neutral. You can go either way, but against the white color cream bed or the cream color bed, I think it's going to look incredibly gorgeous. Now let's take a look at my second option of nightstands, and I think these are incredibly gorgeous. From the wood tones with the gold and the faux marble top, I think this is gorgeous. To be fair, I saw these on Amazon Home as well as on Target, but to be honest, they are currently cheaper on Target, so do with that information what you will, but they are currently cheaper on Target, and I think these are incredibly gorgeous. Now these are slightly bigger when it comes to the previous nightstands, as these are 32 inches wide and 32 inches tall, and I love having much more space when it comes to a nightstand because we're older. We have so many things when it comes to our nightstands, from our Bibles to the lamps to books to water to whatever we have, and I want to be able to display it very nice and gorgeous. Now I'm not too keen on the feet of these nightstands, but I do understand that I could also change the feet, the legs on these nightstands, so keep that in mind. Sometimes when you see things like nightstands, that if you have the desire to change something on it, you absolutely can. If you love the look of the nightstands but you hate the pulls, change the pulls. If you love the look of the nightstands but you hate the feet, change the feet. Those are things to take into consideration when you see something you absolutely love. Okay, Now, once we have those nightstands, obviously, of course, we have to get some new lamps. So I probably will take you guys on a vlog with us when it comes to like a home vlog and going separate in different places when it comes to purchasing lamps, because obviously we're going to need new lamps. Our lamps are also 6-7 years old. So it's just a time for an upgrade in our space when it comes to that. And something you get from my videos that I want you to be able to take away from my videos is that I am doing these things incrementally. These aren't things you're seeing me doing every single day or every single week. You guys saw me working on my bedroom earlier this year, and now here it is, it's fall, and I am in a space of also still working on my bedroom. Nice things take time. They also take money. It just takes being wise and being smart about it along the way. So there is that. Now, you guys have to let me know right now in the comments, what do you think about the nightstands? Which option you would go with between all three of these nightstands? I know which one we are loving, so let's see if you guys are on the same team as us. Let us know in the comments, because I am super excited to get this underway. Now, let's talk about the bed itself. The bed itself, obviously, of course, is not going anywhere. We just got the bed as stated earlier this year. Now, what I do want to do is go ahead and update the bedding. Now, I know some people like to upgrade their bedding when it comes to each season. I'm more of like what I'm feeling in the moment, and if I do it that way, it prevents me from having to spend too much money, because if I want to change it for spring and winter and summer, I think you get into the snowball effect of always having to buy new bedding because you're not content with it. And I've gotten to a place where I am very content with my duvet and comforter set. I don't want to deviate from it, and if I don't want to deviate from it from years, I think spending $200 on bedding, $300+ on bedding, getting a nice sheet makes sense, and you can always interchange accent colors from time to time. That makes complete sense than constantly every season having to buy something new and you're spending $100+ each time. It's completely up to you, but as for me and my house, and as for a little bit of advice, find a comforter duvet set that you absolutely love, so that way you can interchange things and you're not overspending. Now, let's talk about a color that I'm absolutely loving, which I actually have on, which is this brown. I'm loving all things brown right now, and I think having a very nice bedding set is brown from the accent pillows, which you guys see with these accent pillows. I'm inserting some different options so you can actually see that, okay, you can get brown, you can get neutral, and you can get elevated. It doesn't have to be plain, it doesn't have to be ugly. It looks really good and it really complements the space. Now, if I wanted to make it a holiday, I can interchangeably purchase some green or something like that, but I just feel like brown would stand the test of time. And if I want to go past the holiday season without having holiday colors, it's still going to look good. It's still going to look good no matter what. But I think this brown looks so good. You guys gotta let me know in the comments, what colors are you gravitating towards, because though I'm loving brown, I'm not against anything else, because as of now, you guys know we have like that olive green, which I think is really pretty. But I think brown and the tans are easy coming into spring and summer and adding accent colors. So yes, over the years I have stuck with my black and white theme, and I just thought I just love black and white. It just gets no simpler than that, and black and white just screams elevated, screams luxury, and that's just what it screams to me, especially when I go into these high-end hotels and everything is done so nice, and white will always be a clean look. As we move away from my bedroom, because we are going to take that overhaul and it's going to look so good, and I'm super excited for you guys to see in the coming weeks how things pretty much transpire and elevate the space. Do not take away from adding accents from like those higher end stores, for example like Nordstrom Home. You can get those higher end room sprays, those higher end reed diffusers, and add those to your space, and it just takes your Amazon purchase up a notch. It just takes your local store purchase up a notch. It's just learning a little bit of balance, learning a little bit of give and take of where I can spend and allocate those funds and be able to have my space looking nice as well as smelling nice. We've talked about plenty of times on my channel on how to elevate a space and scent and smell is one of those ones that's at the top, because if someone walks into your home and they smell anything that just turns the nose off, it's just hard to come back from that. And yes, first time impression is a real thing, okay? I don't care how people say you get a second time. Yeah, you do get a second, third, fourth, fifth, but reality of the situation is that first scent, somebody will always say, I remember when I came here the first time in XYZ. So don't let somebody's takeaway from your space be something derogatory, okay? Because we don't need that. Your space represents me because we helping each other. So there's that. Now let's go downstairs and move downstairs a little bit and talk about my living room. Now I haven't pretty much done too much to my living room, but you guys will get to see some things that I have added, and I'm super excited to show you some of the things that I've added. Now first things first, the elephant in the room is I do not have any curtains on my windows downstairs. I think it's also important to understand that curtains are incredibly expensive, and we want to make sure that we are spending our money right, okay? And nice curtains are sold by each panel, okay? And you have to buy per panel, and each panel a lot of times on the inexpensive side can run $70, and you name the expensive side to $200, $300, $400 per panel, depending on where you're purchasing these panels from, okay? Now on average on Amazon, on Target, you're going to spend around $70, $80 per panel, just depending on what you're looking for. If you go and gravitate towards like a Nordstrom side, you're going to pay top dollar when it comes to some of their home things. Not all, because you can get stuff for $20 and $30, because guess who know? I know, okay? You just want to be mindful. Now, the thing is, I want to be able to make sure my space is cohesive. I don't know if you guys remember, in our dining room, we have a cream and black stitching with the piping on our curtains, as well as our back door. We have a pull down, which also is cream with black stitching along the side. So they kind of cohesively go together. Now, the living room also has 2 additional windows. So I'm trying to think of, do I want to do the same concept or give it a little bit of color, maybe a brown tone or a black? I'm not too sure. Or I could just keep it very neutral and go with a cream, and it just looks incredibly well. As always, you're going to want to make sure your curtains are going from floor to ceiling, as long as obviously they can do so. If not, make sure the ones that you are getting, I love the pull downs, and I just think they look so good. Now my living room is a work in progress, because I'm still trying to figure out my space and figure out how my style is changing and some things I want to add to my space. Now you guys know underneath the TV I do have 2 mirror stands, which were actually our nightstands, okay? They were previously our nightstands in our previous home, and honestly we can't have them there now because the room space is too small, so it's not going to accommodate for it. Now I have gotten ridiculed in the comments, I don't know how many times, that mirror is out, no one is using mirror. I get that, I understand. Do what you will with your space, and as always, upgrade in your space as your time, as your budget sees fit. And always remember, somebody's house does not look like yours, okay? Because I promise you, if you still walked in my home with those mirror stands, you would still say this space looks incredibly well. And there's that. But I'm thinking of adding maybe one of those floating stands that go underneath the TV, just so that with the floor space under it looks incredibly clean at all times. When you have kids, they're constantly at the TV stands opening and closing doors, and I kind of want to get away from that and having something that's on the wall, that's floating on the wall, and then underneath it is free and clear of space. And because we are tight on space, I think it honestly would make sense by having something floating on the wall, just to give the illusion of more space in the room. That is something I am actually loving, which you see here on the screen, which is this very beautiful on the wall TV stand. Now something to also consider for people like me who has oversized TVs, and I'm talking about TVs over 50-55 inch, I'm talking about those 65 and 75 inch TVs. You're gonna have to get those stands that are wider than the TV, because because it just makes sense. It makes the eye sense when it comes to getting those stands. So in this particular case, this is why we put those two nightstands underneath there, because together combined they're 80 inches wide, considering our TV is 75 inches. So it gives a little bit more overhang and it just looks incredibly nice. But I haven't took a deep dive into any other ones because I got to this point and I saw this one, I loved it, and I stopped. I didn't want to go any further. Now I do also like this other one that actually still sits on the floor, but I'm kind of like, do I want another floor one, or do I just want to put it on the wall and out of the way? I don't know, but we'll see. Before I let you go, something we did in our living room recently that you guys haven't gotten the opportunity to see that you will get to see is we actually got a new coffee table, which we purchased from HomeGoods, and we also got a new rug. Yes, now the coffee table that I had before, you guys have seen, I actually just styled it in the video, was my glass coffee table. I think it's gorgeous. I've had it for years, but you guys didn't know it was broke, did you? You didn't know it was broke. This is what I mean by use what you have until it's time for you to be elevated and move to the next level. The glass that sits on top of it, the glass itself was fine, but what the glass sits on top, like they have like these little squeegee things that go on them that kind of pretty much holds the glass in place and screws. But unfortunately, during our previous move, they got lost. They got lost in translation somewhere, and we have no idea where they are. So for the past year, basically year or so, we have just been making do with what we have, and putting things on top of the table pretty much kept everything at bay. So you didn't notice it, but we noticed it. And we knew it was time, but when the time was right, we knew it was time, if that makes sense. And in the past couple of weeks, that time just came, and we saw this table at HomeGoods and I fell in love. Make sure you're following me on TikTok, because I'm gonna drop a little snippet of when I went to HomeGoods and I was asking, what do you guys think? Well, surprise, we purchased it and we're absolutely in love with it. Now the rug we actually purchased a rug from Ross. It was a Calvin Klein rug, and honestly we got it on sale and I absolutely love it. Now one thing I've always said before in previous videos is that you're gonna want to sometimes spend money on rugs, because that is one thing, it will make or break the space because of the look, because of the feel, the longevity of the rug, the lifespan of the rug. Those are things you want to take into consideration. Now I am also thinking about over time maybe purchasing 2 or 3 more rugs over time, so that way I am able to rotate them out and I'm not using them all year round and they are just getting damaged and I can't use them when I decide to take them up. So that is something I am 100% considering. But considering I paid less than $70 for this particular area rug, I see no reason why I can't go into the future and purchase another rug coming into spring, summertime when the need be. Now the space is coming together and coming together oh so well. You guys know the sectional in the space I actually just got at the top of summer, so I'm not in need of a new chair or anything like that for an incredibly long time. But to be fair and to be honest with you guys, I love it for this space, but when we go on and move on to a next space that calls for bigger, we're gonna have to go bigger because it's not very big and so it fits our space right now perfectly. If we have an additional space or bedroom in our home or bonus area when the time comes to be able to put it, then that's something we would consider. But if going into a space we don't, we will donate it as always and give it to someone else who are in 100% need of it, because somebody always needs something, okay? So there's that. But as far as anything else, for as having anything in my cart, I know holiday shopping is one thing, but I think this year I'm gonna go into the idea of trying not to purchase anything new until I really get my house set up and see what I have, because I do feel like I have a good bit and I don't want to like overspend because I think it's pretty. Every year something is pretty, okay? Every year, every season something is pretty, and I just want to be mindful about my space. It's not that big, but it's also not that small, so being able to decorate all spaces is one thing. When we get to that point, that's one point, but as for now, I want to be able to see what we have and then go from there. But other than that, that is pretty much everything that I have in my cards when it comes to what I want to do when it comes to taking care of my home. Now in my bedroom, again, you guys saw the nightstands and you know, bedding that I want to upgrade to. I already have my my mirror, so I'm not deviating from that. We just need to shop for some lamps and maybe some decor pieces that's going to go onto the nightstand, and that will be completely it. I have no big projects or anything like that coming up, but as we are blessed with new things and we are blessed with new opportunities, things will come, projects will come. So I thank you guys for sticking it out and tuning in with me on today. Make sure you are following me, of course, on TikTok. I post every single day on TikTok, every single day. And the reason being is because I don't have the opportunity, or I can, but it's just not the same as posting a long form video here on YouTube and then having people to actually be able to have something long form to engage. But I post every single day on TikTok. I'm thinking about posting shorts here on YouTube, so to kind of get people who also don't know us, who also want to be along with the family when it comes to our videos, they can see some short form content, because let's be honest, there are people who don't watch long form, and that's okay. But the people that watch shorts, I want to kind of pull you guys in and get you guys to watching some videos. But that is it. That is all for today. You guys let me know in the comments what you are currently eyeing for your home. I will always tell you guys, if you need my help, if you need my assistance, please, by all means, comment on my video. Let me know. If you want it to be a little bit more private, send me a message on Instagram and we can go from there. But I'm always willing to help you with your space because I just love it. I absolutely love it. I love seeing you take care of you, and I love you seeing you take care of your space, and it all is one cohesive thing. Okay, so there is that. That is all I have for today, and until next time, until next Sunday, which I'm super excited for already, I will see you guys later. Bye.